holding off all the kills that I'm stealing. I'm going hard like a villain. We set the record. I'm killing on the Anteki. I'm feeling. I'm never quitting. I'm hitting all of these kittens. I'm the king of the jungle. So when we rumble, I'm winning. Ha! In the same place, killing you the same way. Setting up a tent while I'm running through the doorway. Put a barrel to your body faster than an AK. Sprays to your face. Hey, best in the game.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy KINGSMOKE back at you with another banger, and I hope you're having a fantastic day today. So, have you had problems with your aim? Have you had problems getting your movement down or your sensitivities, and you still feel like you're losing a lot of your gunfights? Well, if you are one of those people, and even if you're not a new person and you've been playing for a while and you're still having a hard time figuring this stuff out, you came to the right place, because today we have 20 real reasons why you're still a noob, and I got my list right here. So we're gonna go ahead and go over this stuff so that way you can get better, hopefully by the end of this video. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new content on this channel. Make sure that you leave a thumbs up and a comment down below. Let me know if you already do these things, or if anything that we talk about in this video helps you out in any shape, way, or form. With that being said, let's go ahead and fix this goddamn camera because it's out of... Okay, now let's get started. So, first things first, choice of weapon. Your choice of weapon is very important depending on what you're doing. So if you are one of those people that plays rank a lot and you like to rank up to legendary or whatever the case may be, you are going to want a meta gun. So you need to pay attention what the current metas are. If you use anything other than metas in rank play, because that's what everybody and their mama is going to be using, you will get your ass handed to you and you will have a very difficult time trying to use that weapon. So you need to go with the metas. If you're not, and you're like me that don't really rank up a lot, which I do if the rewards are good enough for me to grind for and I feel like I'm not wasting my time, then I'll do it. But I really don't do that because currently and before it's pretty much been trash. But if you're a camo grinder and you're just trying to have a chill gameplay, or you just got off work and just want to play a little bit without the sweat, then go into a pub match, and that's where you do not need to use your meta weapons. Tip number 2, practice range. Use the practice range to your advantage. I know a lot of people are probably going to hate on that and say, oh, only bots do that, only noobs do that. Well, here's the thing. When you go into the practice range, it's going to help you set up your sensitivity, set your HUD up, set everything up, and figure out how you want to play. It's going to help you improve your aim because it has some modes in there where it gives you aim challenges and all types of stuff. So go in there and hone your skills. It's going to help you become a better player. See, if you're like me and you're a seasoned veteran at the game, then you really don't need to worry about doing that, which I do sometimes, but I really don't do it all the time. Usually just with the new guns I go and test it out. But make sure you go in there and test it out and fix everything up and get your HUD and sensitivities honed in the way that you want. Practice your aim. So tip number 3, use high skill level weapons. When I say that is, use guns that aren't easy to use, like the AK-47, a lot of recoil. The Fennec is a very hard gun to use because it shoots very fast, so the little bit of bullets that you do got in that mag, even in the biggest mag it has, goes like that. So you're gonna have a very hard time using it just because of that. Number 2 is because it has a lot of recoil. So if you use guns like that require skills like the SKS and stuff like that, if you use guns that have higher recoil and a higher skill gap, it's going to help you get better at any kind of a weapon. So if you could hone your skills with those, then you could hone your skills and pretty much dominate whatever situation you're in with any weapon. It doesn't really matter. So tip number 4, clean your phone and clean your hands. First thing you're going to want to do is go clean your hands with some dish soap. And the reason I say dish soap is because dish soap is made for what? Getting grease off of your dishes, right? What do you think your thumbs have on them? Sweat, grease, dirt, all types of shit that is going to get on your screen and make it even more slippery. So you're going to want to wash your thumbs real good with dish soap. Number 2 part of that is you need to clean your phone, because while you're using your phone throughout the day, excuse me, that's the king talking, your phone's going to get greasy, it's going to get sweaty, it's going to get slippery, and it's going to be hard for you to move and aim when your phone is dirty. So once you get it clean, this is what I usually do. I usually clean the phone with some dry baby wipes, right? Clean it up, and then I go over it with one of these, a little cloth that you use for your car windows and stuff to wash your car. Little cloth, right? After every match, I'll do this. Get the sweat off my fingers, right? And then I clean my phone with it before the next match. So make sure you do that. It's gonna help your gameplay, trust me. Okay, tip number 5. Buy a controller. And what I mean by that, I don't mean an Xbox controller or none of that. I meant one of these, right? It has a built-in fan. Your phone sits into it. It does not connect to your phone whatsoever. No Bluetooth, no cords, nothing. So this thing has nothing to do with your phone. All it does is hold your phone. And these things come over the top of your phone. So when you pull these triggers, which is, it's kind of set up like an Xbox controller, if you can see. When I pull these triggers, these things go down, or that really didn't go down. These go down and touch your screen. You can buy these on Amazon for about 25 bucks if you get the really good ones. Highly recommend you using this because it's basically using a controller without the system recognizing you're using a controller. And the good thing about it is you're still using your thumbs to touch your screen, to move, to aim, to reload, switch weapons, tacticals. You're still using all this. So mine is set up so this is aim, shoot, slide, jump. So I can slide, jump, aim, and shoot, and hit fire, and use all that shit all at the same time, which is gonna greatly improve your gameplay. And it's not cheating. I know somebody in the comments is gonna be like, well, that's cheating. No, it's not, because the game is designed for you to be able to connect a controller to it. So if you could use an Xbox controller, what's wrong with using that? You know what I mean? So check it out. Go on Amazon, check them out. Type in 4-trigger mobile gaming controller, and before we move on from that, you want the one that has these bubbles. You don't want the one that's a flat piece of plastic. You want these rubber round ones. These touch your phone better. If you get the flat one, it's not going to work very well. Don't use anything other than this because everything else pretty much sucks. Okay, tip number 6. Know what perks you're using. Depending on your playstyle, which we'll get into here in a minute. Depending on your playstyle is going to depend on what kind of perks you use. I'm a very aggressive player, so I run Dauntless because I got the greed perk or card, which gives me an extra perk. So I'm running lightweight to move faster. I'm running gung ho, so that way I could shoot, reload, slide, all that stuff while I'm sprinting. Does not slow me down. I'm using I forget what it's called, but it's the perk that allows you to take less damage from enemy lethals, and also you're able to run through them. Usually when you get hit with a thermite or a Molotov, your sprint speed gets decreased significantly. So this perk is gonna allow you to keep running through that and take less damage. Also, I run Dauntless to prevent me from taking even less damage because of that, thermites and stuff like that. And then I'm running the other perk that allows you to, if someone throws a flashbang or a concussion or a non-lethal at you, it's not going to have any effect on you. So those are the perks that I run, so that way I could be more aggressive and get in someone's face and win most of those gunfights. So depending on your playstyle, you're going to want to get your perks set up according to that, right? And that is going to help you a lot, and I promise you. Tip number 7, know your playstyle, which what we were just talking about. So if you're a camper, you're going to want to use perks that is going to allow you to camp better, right? And it's going to allow you to be less aggressive, and you're going to be able to sit back and still be able to collect those kills, right? So just know your playstyle. Figure out what kind of a person you are. Are you a scared player and you want to sit in the corner the whole game? Figure it out. If you're an aggressive player who's like me, figure it out. You know, figure out what kind of playstyle you are. Tip number 8, know your map. Because if you don't know your maps, then you're gonna have a lot of trouble trying to keep up with everybody, right? Because someone like me that's been playing Call of Duty games since Call of Duty came out, and all these maps are from previous Call of Duty titles. I know these maps like the back of my hand. I know where all the spawn traps are. I know the head glitches, the camper spots. I know where all the secret places are. I know all of this stuff. So I'm able to push people back into the spawn that I want them to go into. So that way I could have more control over the game, right? So, which goes back into spawns. You need to know where your spawns are, because that's gonna tie into knowing your map. For example, and I kill you on this side, right? I'm gonna purposely run back to this side before you can spawn back in, so that way it makes you spawn back in that corner that you just died in. And I'm gonna be able to kill you every time right off the spawn, because I'm pushing you where I want you to go, and I'm making you be my little bitch, if you know what I mean. So you need to know your maps and know your spawn location, so that way you could have even more control over the outcome of the game, right? And also, that ties into that. Play with teammates that you know that are good players, because if you try to play with randoms, they're not going to know what they're doing half the time, and you're going to lose. I mean, you guys see it with me all the time. My fucking teammates don't do shit, and my team ends up losing, even though I drop 50 something kills, 2 nukes, whatever the case may be. My team still loses against people that are level 54 because my teammates aren't doing anything. I'm over here trying to capture, I'm getting all the kills, I'm keeping them in their spawn, and it just doesn't work because my teammates are ass. And that's nothing against them, that's just because they don't know the game like that, you know. And I've also been playing this game since the game came out. I have a lot of experience. Tip number 9, pay attention to your enemy's weapons. When the game first starts and it shows both sides, both teams, pay attention to what weapons the opposite team has, because depending on what they're running, that's going to give you an idea of what type of player they are. So if you got 2 people spawning in with a BP-50, another guy spawning in with a sniper, and another dude with a man of war, then you know you're probably going to be dealing with some camping, sweaty, score streak abusing type of people. If you see them all with SMGs, then you're probably going to want to run an AR, so that way you could have a bigger advantage at long range gunfights with these guys, you know what I mean? Or if you're like me, run an SMG, so that way you can get up in their face and you guys can see who's really a better player at the end of that match. And also pay attention to your teammates' guns, because if 2 people in your team spawn with snipers, you don't need to use a sniper. Use an SMG, use an AR, use something depending on what your teammates are using, you know what I mean? And also that ties into what map you're using. If you're on a map that's close quarters and you're trying to use something like an LMG or an AR, you're gonna have a lot of trouble most of the time, because these guys are using SMGs, which are designed for close quarters. So if you're playing on Shipment or Summit, you're gonna have a hard time keeping up with these kids, because they're moving faster, their aim's faster, and they're in close quarters, and your gun's not designed for that. Assault rifles are designed for long range combat, long to mid range. So pay attention to your weapons, your teammates' weapons, and the enemy's weapons. Tip number 10, watch your mini map. I know a lot of people get zoned into the game and they're really trying to win, and they don't really pay attention to their mini map, but the mini map is going to give you a lot of information that's going to help you win a lot of these games and gunfights. And that's why people think that I'm hacking, because I'm paying attention to the mini map, right? And if you're running alert, which I usually do, when someone's close to me, a triangle pops up on my mini map that shows me that they're right there on this around the corner. So I'm gonna start pre-firing before they could even come around the corner. Like, Smoke, how'd you know I was coming around the corner? It's called mini map. It's called perks. It's called awareness. It's called paying attention. You know what I mean? So you guys need to really understand that. Use your mini map. After every kill, when you have a chance, look at that mini map. You know what I mean? That mini map's going to give you everything that you're going to need to know, which also ties into tip number 11. Use headphones. If you do not have headphones, you need to get some, and that's where a lot of people make a big mistake, is they're playing the game with their phone speaker, and they wonder why they lose 95% of their gunfights. Is because they can't hear very well. I have noise canceling headphones. I could hear everything. I could hear footsteps, gunshots, explosions. I could hear you reloading behind the wall. I could hear everything because that I had good headphones, and that's going to tie into another thing, which is your sound, right? Turn off the music. If you have the Call of Duty theme music playing in the background, turn that shit off, because that's covering up a lot of the important information that you need to win these gunfights. Also, turn any kind of sound that you can that's not gunshots, footsteps, explosions, etc. If it doesn't have anything to do with that, turn that sound off, because you do not need it, right? All it's going to do is get you killed. Tip number 12. Use tacticals and lethals in the right situations. So, for example, just don't randomly go and throw a smoke grenade over the wall that you're going towards, because there might not be somebody there. You know what I mean? And you just wasted that. Or if your teammates are already engaging in a gunfight and you throw that smoke in the way, now your teammates are probably going to get killed because they can't see what they were currently shooting at. You know what I mean? And that plays a big part with these bots, because these bots will still aimbot you and wall hack you through your smoke. So it's useless. You know what I mean? So you need to know when to use your tacticals and lethals. You know, don't just use them all right away. Use them when you need them. For example, if I know someone's coming around the corner and I need to reload, or I need to position myself so that way I have a drop on them, I'm going to throw a thermite at that corner. So when they come around, they immediately start taking damage. And that gives me a little bit of time to go ahead and get my first shot off. You know what I mean? So just use them wisely. Or if you know that somebody is on the other side of the wall or the map and there's a way that you can throw a grenade or something over there, toss it over there and hope for the best. You know what I mean? And you guys see me do that with my thermites all the time. Usually I get my kills off of that, you know, and that's a good start in the game, because if I can get a couple kills with that first initial toss, it's going to help me get to their spawn quicker and kill them as soon as they spawn in. And you guys see me do that multiple times. Right? Score streaks. Use what you need for your playstyle. So if you're a camper, you're going to need score streaks that are going to allow you to do so. For example, score streaks like a dog is, your hounds are going to help you keep enemies at bay for a little bit. A flash shield. Use a flash shield. That's going to help you set up your position. And also give you cover in a place where there is no cover. And it's also a little head glitch, you know what I mean? So you need to figure out what game style you are and use your score streaks accordingly. I'm a very aggressive player. I don't really like using score streaks that give me free kills that much, just because I like to get the feeling of, hey, I dropped 50 kills with just my gun. I like the feeling of that. Even if my team loses, I dropped 50 kills on you with just a gun, while you're using score streaks like choppers, hounds, killer drones, Goliaths. You drop the same amount of kills with score streaks. You barely ever use your gun, and that's what's going to make a difference between a good player and a noob, right? So know your score streaks and pick your score streaks according to your play style, right? And if you're a team helper and your team's losing, then you need to pick score streaks that's going to help your team boost itself back up into position to win that match. Tip 14. Reticle in the middle of your screen. That little dot that's in the middle of the screen when you're not ADS'd, that's your reticle, right? That's your on-screen reticle, and that reticle is going to show you where your gun will ADS when you pull that ADS button, right? So you need to pay attention where you place that when you're moving. So if you're coming around the corner, here's a picture right here of the reticle. This is what you are going to see. So if you're coming around a corner and you know that someone might be sitting there, then that reticle should be at chest level when you come around that corner. So when you ADS, you're already going to be on point with your shots. If you're looking down at the ground, which a lot of people have a habit of doing, it's going to take you a second to lift your gun up to shoot at that person, and that person's going to most likely win that gunfight because they have the drop on you. You know what I mean? So make sure that your reticle is always in the middle of wherever you're going to be aiming. So if you're going around a corner, your reticle needs to always be following that corner as you turn. So that way, when you come around the corner and there's an enemy there, your reticle is already there. So once you ADS, boom, they're dead. They're gone. So pay attention to where you place that when you're moving. That's going to help you a lot. Tip number 15, control your anger. And what I say by that is games like this, well, any game, but mostly games like this, like Call of Duty games, Fortnite games, any kind of shooter, people get angry very quickly because people play like rats. And that's usually people that are either purposely being toxic or not purposely being toxic, but it's because they're not very good at the game. And it pisses people off when you get killed by somebody that's playing like a rat, you know. And there's nothing wrong with taking a break. If you feel that you're getting too angry, take a break. Go take a smoke break if you're old enough. Go make a sandwich, take a walk outside, get some fresh air, take a little bit of a break, and then come back. Because if you keep playing while you're angry, that's going to throw your game off. You're going to start misthinking, you're going to misjudge the situations, you're going to overthink things, and you're just not going to be able to hit your shots, and you're just going to keep getting your ass handed to you. So just take a break when you feel yourself getting mad. And some people that I play with, they know that I do that. When I start getting pissed off because of the way people are playing, I'm gonna get off and be like, I'll be back later, bro. I'm done for now. You know, take a break. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Tip number 16. You need to fix your sensitivities. You need to go into the practice range. Set up your sensitivities to your liking. So that goes back into your HUD and all that stuff. That's all going to play a part in the practice range. So go get your HUD and your sensitivities figured out, so that way you could win more gunfights, aim better, and move better. Just go to there, figure your sensitivities out, and you'll be good. Which also goes into tip number 17. You need to get your HUD set up that's comfortable. If you don't need it on your map, you guys see my videos. Half of my stuff that's on the screen is all invisible, all off into the corner where you can't see it, and it's not taking up any space on my screen. So that way I have a lot of screen to see enemies when I'm playing. You know what I mean? So you need to get rid of what you're not using, you know? And also, when you get your new sensitivities, yes, you might have a little bit of a problem adjusting to it. It's muscle memory. You just got to play with that sensitivity for like a week, get that muscle memory kicking in, and then if you still don't feel comfortable after a week playing like that, then change your sensitivities a little bit more. No big deal, but you need to let that muscle memory kick in for you. So get your settings figured out, let it kick in, see where it goes from there. Number 18, aim assist. I don't know if it's just me, but for some reason the aim assist does not work on my account at all. I've tested it, and I'll test it for a video for you guys. If you guys don't believe me, I'll do a video showing you that my aim assist does not work. So if it does work for you, then you need to have your aim assist on if you're trying to get better with your aim, because this is going to give you a vague idea on how certain weapons shoot. Right, you're gonna figure out the recoil patterns. Once you're good enough, like me, I don't need aim assist. I don't use it anyways, no more. So it's not gonna really make a difference for me. But for people that are new to the game, that are still trying to learn and get better, start off with aim assist, and then gradually along the way somewhere you're gonna get good enough to where you feel like you could turn off aim assist, and that's gonna help you get better, right? Because if you don't need aim assist, you're good to go. But you need to go into the practice range again and practice your aim with and without aim assist and see which one feels better for you. You know what I mean? Go to practice shooting targets, or just find something in the target range like a picture or a poster or something, and track the outline of it with your reticle, right? Just track the outside of it. You know what I mean? And shoot the targets. Do the little thing and hone your aim, right? And you could also figure out your movement there too. Practice your movement there. Tip number 20, my bad. This is technically tip number 20, but it's 19 because I already gave you guys an extra tip earlier. That was tip 20. But this one, last one, tip 20, don't stick to the same weapon. Don't be that guy that's been playing for 5 years and the only gun he knows how to use is a diamond bison. You know what I mean? Don't use the same gun. You know, like I said, you need to use every gun in the game. Diamond grind them, because by diamond grinding your weapon, what it's gonna do is it's gonna allow you to get better with every single weapon. So no matter what situation you're in, you could use that gun. You know what I mean? I could pick up anybody's gun and still use it efficiently because I've already got everything diamond and Damascus, which means I've had plenty of time to use each and every weapon. You know what I mean? So don't be that guy that, oh, the Bison has a base round mag of 60 rounds. It has no recoil. It's good at close range, mid range, and long range, and it's just the easiest thing to use. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Oh, I'm using a USS 9 metagun. I'm so good. No, you're not, because if I take that metagun from you and put something else in your hand, you're not going to play as efficiently as you were with that weapon because you rely on it. Don't rely on weapons that are easy to use. Don't rely on metaguns. You know, get good with everything. You know what I mean? But with that being said, those are all the tips and tricks that I got for you today. If any of these help you guys out, let me know down in the comment section below. If you're new here, make sure you turn on that notification bell and hit that subscribe button. Leave a like and a comment so that way I know that you like this kind of content, and I'll continue to do more stuff like this. So with that being said, my name's KINGSMOKE. Thank you for tuning in with your boy and allowing me to teach you some things that you might not have known, you know. And if I've missed something that you feel like will help other people, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll go ahead and put that in my next tips and tricks video, or even my next regular video, so that way everybody can get on the same page, you know. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the people that are new to the channel that have subscribed. I very much appreciate it. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.
And we're running on your people. Try to play our team, no equal. Try to see why we're so lethal. Time to get evil.